Hello, my name is Brandon Adams. This is my project number 2 presentation for Network Operating Systems 110. Since this was the online class, I thought I'd put a picture of myself so that you can put a face to the name. Today I'm going to be talking about Windows 7 and 2 new features that are available with the operating system, Snap and libraries. And then I'm also going to talk a bit about a gadget that you can install, and it's called the Magic Folder. Snap is the first feature I'll be talking about, and the idea behind Snap, it gives the user a quick way to resize an open window that they're working with by dragging in a particular direction, and depending on the direction you drag it in, it behaves a certain way. We'll start with dragging up. If you drag up, it maximizes the window. If you drag downward, it returns that window to the original size that it was. If you drag to the left or to the right to the edge of the screen, it will command that window to take up exactly half of the screen. So that being said, what you can do is have one take up the left side and one take up the right by dragging two open windows in opposite directions. And that's really awesome. I love the feature. I use it all the time when I'm working, let's say, on this paper for this class, and I'm researching with a web browser as well. That's two windows open. I drag one to the left and then drag one to the right, and it, as you can see here, as an example, they're in perfect proportion. So there's no one window that's one size and one that's another, and gets on top of each other, and you don't have to click through two different ones. I can kind of compare them at the same time if I want. So it's really neat, a really neat way to organize the windows. I love it. Let's take a look at it. Alright, so let's take a look at my actual computer's desktop so that you can kind of get an idea of what Snap is and what it does. I've cheated, I just kind of showed you a preview, but what I have is I have an OpenOffice Writer document here, and then over here is a Google in the Chrome browser. I'll use this window as in my example. If I grab right here, click and hold it, drag upwards, and I let go, as you can see, it just maximized. Now I'm going to click and drag down, and that has minimized me, or not minimized, but rather returned me to the original size. But like I talked about earlier, the split screen, let's go ahead and do that. Drag it over here, and you get a nice little preview that says it's about to snap, and let go, and it does its magic. And then drag over here, and we've got, boom, side by side. So if I were Googling whatever I needed to work on, this is me working and reading Google at the same time. It's really neat, so you should use this feature if you have Windows 7. Alright, the second feature I'll be talking about is libraries. Libraries are accessed through Windows Explorer, and what they do is they serve as locations for folders or files that in reality exist in multiple locations, be it somewhere on your hard drive, somewhere on your external hard drive, or on a networked drive somewhere. And it aggregates these files or folders, it combines them into one location, and it makes it appear like those files or folders are in that location when in reality they're not. So it's just kind of an appearance thing. It's like a shortcut. You can specify what you want to include in your library. The terminology that Windows uses is include, so your setting that you would adjust is include. So let's say you have a pictures library. You have a pictures folder somewhere on your hard drive, you can include that. You have a pictures folder on your external hard drive somewhere deep, eight subfolders deep, you can include that. Anytime that external hard drive is connected, it will know to pull that into your library of pictures. And also, like I said before, a network location works too. The caveat that I want to throw out there is if it's a network location, it must be indexed. It must be indexed or available offline to be included, but it doesn't have to be both of those things. If it's neither, you're going to get an error that says, sorry, we can't include this. So then you'd either have to enable indexing for that network location, or you're out of luck. Here's what it looks like, just default. This is the basic libraries. This is my Windows Explorer that I'm showing you here. I've got documents, music, pictures, videos. Let's go ahead and take an actual look at it in action. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click into Windows Explorer and open up my libraries. I've just got the default ones. Let's explore, shall we? If I wanted to, I could make a new library, but I'm not going to do that in this particular demonstration. We're going to just go into pictures here, and as you can see, there's some folders, various pictures I have, but the cool thing is they're coming from different locations. So one of those is D drive, my pictures folder, and then one is my F drive, which is an external hard drive I have currently connected, and it's finding pictures there. This is where I set my locations. It includes 2 locations. If I wanted to, I can remove one of these, or I can add. Say, why don't you go to my external hard drive and go to my junk and find this other folder. I'm not going to do that, but that's how you would do it if you wanted to include another folder. And that's that. That's libraries for you. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, Magic Folder, and that's the gadget that I decided to present on just because of the name alone. This is freeware published by David Craig. So this guy decided he'd make his own Windows gadget, and he made it free for everyone. So encourage more use out there. What it does is it helps people get organized. It helps them declutter. And really, I think probably what he had in mind is, I'm sure you could be this person, or you know somebody that does this, where they download stuff and it all just goes in on the desktop. It's just there hanging out, no organization whatsoever. Well, what you can do is use the Magic Folder, and you drag files to that Magic Folder, which is just hanging out on your desktop, and it sends them on their way packing to a new destination that you have specified. It's really customizable. You can specify, a certain file extension to go to a certain folder, or just all picture type files go to a certain folder. We'll take a look so you kind of get the idea better than I can explain it probably. But first, let me just mention there's a feature called Watched Folder. It's great for the ultra lazy, I think. You specify a folder, let's say it's your downloads folder, and you have it set up right. It will watch that folder. Anytime anything gets saved there, it will redirect it to where it should go. So any sort of picture that goes there, if you set it up, it'll go to the pictures folder or wherever you want it. So you set it and forget it, as they say. But then there's the opposite end of the spectrum, where you can have it prompt you each time for the location that you want. It's just whatever you want, varying levels of ease there. Let's take a look first at the icon. This is what you see on your desktop. You got a rabbit in the hat in a folder. Spells it out for you. It's magic. Get ready for some magic, so we're going to take a look. Alright, here we are back at my desktop, and what I've done is I've left a few files here that normally I would organize because I'm fairly organized, but this time I didn't. I messed up, whatever. I'm going to click here on my desktop and go to my gadgets and just enable this Magic Folder that I had installed earlier today. As you can see, it's appeared here on the top right. Enlarge it a little bit so that you can see it better. And I've already gone in and gone to my settings and kind of specified, where extensions go, certain extensions from a list here, and folders. I've done a little customizing there as well. So where do picture files go? They go to D drive and then pictures. But enough about that. Let's show it in action. I've got this picture here. I'm going to drag it there. Another picture. I've got a budget spreadsheet file, and then I've got a WMA media file. It's like an MP3 or something. So get a little confirmation here. Great. And now let's go find those files and prove that they actually did quickly go to various locations that were appropriate for them. I'm going to go back to my libraries. Pictures. Well, there's that picture that I sent, and there's another picture that I sent, so I didn't have to actually open up Windows Explorer to relocate those files. Let's go back. There was also a spreadsheet and I told it to go to my documents, and I know it's here somewhere. Oh, there it is, budget. So there it is. We won't go into my budget. That's probably not a good idea. And then the last thing was a music file, so we're going to go over here to music library where I told it to go, and there's that file again. So it's proof it works. Proof is in the pudding. And that's all. That's all she wrote. I hope you learned a little bit more about Snap, where you can resize your open windows really quickly. You should try out the side-by-side thing. I think you'll like it. Also talked a bit about libraries, where you have what appears to be a location for all your pictures or all your documents, but really it's various pictures located all across the place. You know, on your external hard drive or on your network somewhere or on your computer. 14 subfolders deep that no longer have to navigate through. And last but not least, the magic folder, which for the disorganized out there, it's a godsend. Just drag something and drag a file over to it, and it'll send it on its way to where it should be. I hope you enjoy the class and the presentation. I look forward to seeing your presentations and learning about the features and gadgets you researched. And I guess in closing, just thank you again, and it was a fun class. I hope to see you all again in another class. Take care.